Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda. I'm your host, Jimmy Rashid, and I'm happy to welcome back today Sheikh Muhammad Salah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Ask Huda. Let me just remind you quickly of our telephone numbers. The country code is 202, should be popping up on your screen. Then it's 38555 248 or 249. Into the first question from the day, Sister Hadi from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. She's asking on behalf of her brother regarding jihad, Sheikh, fighting in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is it something that if we don't aim for, something that we don't have a desire for, we will be questioned by Allah for, Sheikh?
Something is very important in every believer's life, to understand that he was not just created to eat, drink, get married and have children, then die. But we have a responsibility of defending our belief, our faith, the message which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala entrusted us with. One thing makes this ummah very unique, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said this ummah is like a single body. If any part of it aches, then the entire body is in fever and is aching too. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained jihad as a means of self-defense initially. Remember that the Muslims were persecuted in Mecca for 13 years. And none of them were allowed to lift a finger, because it was not time yet. Then when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first allowed them for resistance and self-defense, أذن للذين يقاتلون بأنهم ظلموا وإن الله على نصرهم لقدير. That Allah knows that they were being persecuted and oppressed, and Allah is able to give them victory. But whenever the time suited the mission, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained that on them. Jihad is a very broad issue and has very great meanings. Somebody might just cut and paste and take this word out of context and say, these guys say that, go ahead and kill all the non-Muslims, as you keep hearing all the non-Muslim channels, and sometimes unfortunately on some Muslim channels, due to either ignorance, due to arrogance, due to hatred, this stereotyping and bashing propagated by hate mongers against Islam and Muslims. This is a subject which, if we are going to tackle, then we have to take our time. Then we have to address every single issue in it, in details. Not to leave an excuse for any of the audience or anyone who just happened to tune in, then he hears one statement and said, look, jihad is a word in Arabic that literally means resistance, struggle. Struggle against what? There are various forms and shapes of jihad. There is jihadun nafs, resisting against your inner desire, resisting and struggling against Satan, against the worldly temptations, against one's own whims. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam considers this the greatest form of jihad. And one who cannot struggle and resist his own desire and lust will never be able to support the deen of Allah on the battlefield. This is a step that has to be taken ahead of lifting a finger or a weapon in the face of the enemies. Whom should we fight in case of fighting? Do we just attack any people? No. We attack those who attack us. We attack those who hinder people from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and prevent them from practicing the religion. And that's why the scholars classified fighting, for many of the viewers who are not Muslims and first time to hear about jihad. Jihad is a right that is preserved by all the human rights by laws and the United Nations Constitution. Every nation every community has the right to defend itself. This is exactly what Allah gave Muslims. So, in case that the enemies attack a Muslim community somewhere, and we said that the Muslim Ummah at large is one single Ummah, whether in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, or anywhere, one single Ummah. If any part of it is suffering, then the entire Ummah is suffering as well. So if any part of the Muslim world is being invaded, then it becomes on the entire Ummah incumbent to defend this part until they gain victory over their enemies. But that doesn't happen, brothers and sisters, on individual basis. To wage a war, there has to be a reason, there has to be legitimacy, there has to be a commander of a chief and an emir. What some people do, individual acts, and they set a bomb here and there, that has nothing to do with Islam. And what they heard is much greater than what they think that they're introducing any benefit to the community or to the Ummah. We understand that Muslim Ummah nowadays is very weak, is very oppressed. One of the very important reasons behind its weakness, because they gave up on the right of self-defense, of defending the religion, of defending their brothers and sisters. One day this Ummah was so great that if anyone anywhere was attacked, a whole army, a whole Ummah will move to rescue this person. As they say that once during the Khilafah of Al-Mu'tasim, a Muslim woman was captured and she made a cry calling on the Muslim Caliph. So he sent to the Roman Emperor a letter saying that from the servant of Allah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, the leader of the believers, to the Roman's dog, if you don't set free the Muslim woman, I'm going to send you an army. You will find its beginning right there at your palace, and its end right here with me. So right away, the Roman Emperor set free the Muslim woman, and he sent her in a safe company, in protection, because he was afraid that the Muslim Caliph is going to execute his threat, and is going to do whatever he said. But now, people are busy with their livelihood, busy with their food, busy with lower things. They just want to live. Because of that, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to appoint a rightly caliph who would lead this ummah towards success, and who would lead this ummah towards success according to the guidance of the book and the sunnah.
جزاك الله خير شكرا.
اللهم قوّني على إقامة أمرك يا مولاي، وأذقني حلاوة ذكرك، واحفظني بحفظك